What's up, baby?
We're back.
We're back, dude. AV after vacation.
Yeah.
That was BV. Now we're AV.
How was your vacation?
I died.
Oh.
Yeah, I died. And I was gone for 3 days. They put a big rock in front of my tomb. Somebody moved it. I came out and started preaching again.
You didn't move the rock yourself?
I don't know who moved the rock.
Damn.
It's a point of contention. People have written books about it.
Oh, really? Damn. That's some quick writing.
Yeah, dude. Somebody hit me with some Epsom salts or some shit. Smelling salts.
Yeah.
Fucking woke my ass up, and now I'm back preaching.
Well, that's cool, man. Did you learn anything in your sojourn into
fuck no. I didn't learn anything. I'm just here.
Even in that, you didn't like see heaven or hell?
No, I don't. Like, I was just stuck in a portal. You know what I mean? It was just purple. I was stuck in a purple room, and that was it. Just left to my thoughts, you know. But I don't remember. I don't remember anything. You know.
That's what us Italians would call purgatory.
Yeah, maybe I was in purgatory, and I don't remember anything. But you Italians and Catholics.
I mean the Italian constituents that I collaborate with.
Yeah. You know, but here's the thing, man. Like Jesus, he died. And then he just, he woke up, did some shit for a day or so, and then he left and nobody knows where he is. I figured I'd stick around.
I like that. I love that for you.
Yeah. I died. I came back. I didn't fucking die for nobody's sins or anything like that because I can't die for people's sins, you know?
No, definitely not.
Nobody can do that. Like, you never even met me. How are you going to die for my sins? So I didn't do any of that shit, but, I'm back to preach. AV, baby.
That's pretty good, man.
After vacation, what did you do?
Fucking my normal life. I didn't die.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I stayed alive the whole time, unfortunately. I didn't do anything exciting. I'm sorry to break it to you.
Dude, hey, man, vacation, sometimes you die and come back, and then sometimes you just sip mojitos on a beach, you know?
Yeah, I didn't do that either.
Yeah, you just worked and shit.
Yeah, I literally did nothing.
Yeah.
Now that I probably did something nice, but who knows? You know what would have been cool is if I did a quick monk journey. If I did some kind of vow of silence kind of vibe.
That would be sick, man. I'm actually if I didn't have kids and shit, or when they get older, it would be rad. Once a month to just go for a week and be alone in silence.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, I would never do it, but it seems cool.
Maybe not. Just once a year, just be gone for a week, just you and your thoughts.
Possibly. I don't know. I like doing what I do. That's the problem. Anytime someone's like, we should camp, we should do this, we should do that. I'm like, I really just like doing exactly what I do.
Yeah. I don't want to camp or anything. I mean, it could be in my basement. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm just gone. You know what I mean? This is where I'm going to be for a week, you know?
A hermitage in your basement.
Yeah, dude. Why not? Yo, so this is Tome of Chaos. We should get that out.
Yeah. We took a quick break. We're back better than ever. Tome after vacation, AV. What we're doing here is we're crowdsourcing a religion that doesn't suck. So we're exploring all kinds of spiritual stuff, taking the greatest hits kind of. It's like a Van Halen greatest hits album of religion.
For sure, but better than Van Halen.
Sure, that's just the first greatest hits album I ever had because that was my dad's. So
mine was Queen. I had Queen's greatest hits.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So we're doing that. We're doing Queen's greatest hits. Yeah. We're doing fucking Champions. We're doing Bicycle. We're doing Bohemian Rhapsody.
Other songs they did.
Fat Bottom Girls.
Fat Bottom Girls. They make the world go round.
So that's what we're doing.
Yeah. So, and then, you know, we made a promise to everybody that we were going to come back better. So Walter built up an episode and we're going to talk about that shit, man. So how do you want to start off, dude?
Well, I think first, what we're going to do is we want to do more like question and answer stuff. But right now, unfortunately, no one is sending us questions. So we're crowdsourcing.
Could you guys get on that? God.
Yeah, please. We do so much for you.
You're making our job so fucking hard.
So we got this question from Yahoo Answers, which I think is a totally unique idea that nobody's done before.
Nope.
Anyways, the question is, before we get into the meat of the episode, of course, which is what I prepared for you. How do you know if you have been intellectually honest in rejecting Christianity, or if you are being influenced by extremism, bad Christians?
Yeah. I feel like this one's cake for you and I, because we experienced it, right? We're not new Christians.
Yeah, that's true.
Like we just we experienced the weirdness and the hate on the other end, you know.
Yeah, there was definitely like the thing growing up, not being a Christian. I'd seen Westboro being like, you know, 9/11 was sick. God did that one.
Dude, I found out recently that they protested outside of fucking Mr. Rogers' fucking funeral.
That's despicable.
I watched the documentary recently and they were out there like the day they were fucking like doing that dude's service and shit, and they were out there.
He's literally one of the few heroes we actually have.
It's so fucking weird and ironic too, because they're like, they drag their kids around with them and shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that dude, like, his whole thing was just about loving people.
Yeah.
You know? So,
we had that.
Yeah.
The Westboro shit, the Crusades, fucking kids getting rejected by their parents for being gay or whatever the fuck else. Like, I definitely saw all that shit before I became a Christian.
Yeah, and still did it. I think that I had it the opposite way. I was like trying to make it work in my fucking brain that God was real. You know what I mean? Like, I was the one who's like, not all Christians are bad. You know what I mean? Like, be my friend. Like, shit is like, I'm okay over here, you know? So
I met people like you, and that's what changed my mind.
Yeah.
Is meeting people like you who are like chill and not fucking pieces of shit, you know?
Yeah. So I mean, and we've shared our story on like how we both lost our faith and shit like that, you know? So it's like, I don't think that we need to go into that, but do you think that there's a lot of people who just like wouldn't give spirituality a chance because of assholes that storm capitals?
For sure, dude. I mean, it's the same people. And this touches on some of the stuff I want to get to in this episode, but it's like, there are people who will always shoot down communism or socialism because of the failures of the past or because of the corruption of the people within the system, right? Like,
for sure.
It's kind of the same idea. Like, a lot of Christians will tell you those people, Westboro, the Crusades, you know, colonizers, whatever the fuck else, slave owners, are actually not real representatives of the Christian faith. The same way I'd say a lot of the time, these corrupt big government things are not accurate representations of the communism we actually wish to achieve.
Blanket statements are hard, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
I remember, I don't know if I've told this story on here before, but I was sitting, Sarah's family, like, not her whole family, but a sect of her family that we would hang out with on, you know, holidays and shit. Her uncle one time was sitting there and he was like telling me like, yo, you know, all Muslims are terrorists. Like, he was just being fucking, it was like, their book is extreme. And I was like, have you ever read it? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Because I could give you some verses out of the Bible that would make it seem like Christians are fucking extremists, homie. And they storm capitals and shit. But I think that and so he was saying that, and I was like, look, dude, like, so if you're willing to be okay with that statement, then that means that when someone says, because they're Catholic, I was like, so that means every Catholic priest is a child molester. Like, and he like got up and walked away and didn't want to talk to me anymore. Yeah,
like he didn't want that smoke, dude.
No, he didn't want the smoke. But that's the thing. So I think that I don't think that it's okay. Like, I think this question asker needs to know that I don't think it's ever okay to cut out an entire group of people because of bad Christians.
Or a concept.
Or anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, we've met plenty of people who take, the good of Christianity and leave out the bad. That's what we're doing,
Yeah. And I would say the way I know personally that it's not based on those things is I went to the text.
Yeah.
I feel like I read the Bible and there was shit in there that I was like, no, I don't agree with this.
Yeah. I feel the same way. It wasn't a feelings-based thing. It was a logical thing in a way, where it was look, if this is what God's cool with, then I'm not cool with that, I say that shit all the time. It's Jesus seemed rad, but his dad sucks.
I feel like it was a mixture for me of it was logical, but it was also just reading some stuff just didn't feel right,
for sure.
Reading slaves obey your masters, it didn't feel right.
Yeah, dude. I mean, we can beat that with a stick all day. I hate that
verse
so much.
Fuck that verse.
God damn. So,
but I wasn't judging the faith based on certain people who were slave owners, right? It wasn't because there were Christian slave owners. It was because the book, when I opened it up, it said, no, this is a good hierarchy that we've installed here. Don't upset this hierarchy.
Yeah, no hierarchies are good.
Whereas I would say this book should say, fuck that hierarchy. So, hey, question asker, I hope you're listening and we helped you out a little bit there.
For sure. There we go. What are we talking about, Walter?
We probably should have said that beforehand, but we're talking about not being a doomer.
Yeah.
Or just basically hope, I guess.
So explain to the people what a doomer is.
I think so. A doomer, I don't know. It's such a meme term at this point. I'm not actually sure what the definition would be. But my guess would be somebody who has basically been it's not red pilled because that's been co-opted by fucking a bunch of dumbasses who want to do all this alpha male shit. They've taken the reality pill and what they see is infinite pessimism, right? Just no matter what we do, it's not going to get better. The earth is getting hotter. The corporations can't be stopped. Fucking the income gap is only getting more severe.
Yeah.
All these different factors are all getting worse, and any change we actually see is not significant, and it just kind of leads you into this spiraling pessimism is what I would say a doomer is.
Yeah, it's what's the term for the type of people who hate everything?
I don't know. I would say pessimist.
Yeah, pessimist or
maybe nihilist.
Nihilist, that's what I'm saying. It's heavy nihilism. Everything's fucked. Can't fix it, won't fix it, won't have conversations with people, on how to fix it. Yeah, it's pretty brutal, especially coming from people who want a new world, we want new systems in place and shit like that,
Well, and I think the thing is a lot of these people who are feeling this way, me and, I felt this way before, is it's people who want better things. It's not people who are this is how it is, fuck it.
Yeah.
It's people who are I wish it would be better. But the problem is, and this is why I'm not saying let's all be doomers. The problem is that actually worsens your chances of actually changing anything, right?
Yeah.
Being a doomer is just not effective.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think that I think trying to we should be trying to fucking do shit to change the world. You know what I mean? We should be doing shit to try and fix things. And it's not like hope's not lost, man. There's times when you think to yourself, you're like, why hasn't anybody invented this thing? You know?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, we've like overcome so much shit.
Yeah.
And we're going to keep doing it. I have so much hope in my son's generation. They're fucking rad, dude.
Yeah.
Like, our kids are better than us in a lot of ways. And there's probably some assholes in there, you know what I mean?
Oh,
but
for sure, yeah.
they don't accept it as much, you know what I mean? Like, I was watching a fucking TikTok of a high schooler explaining fucking theory. You know what I mean? Like communist theory and shit. And I was like, damn, they got it right. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's crazy. Cause I thought I was like early to some of that shit. And they're like babies fucking being like, Marx is rad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's cool.
I'm glad to hear you say that, man. I feel like sometimes when you come to people with this, like, here's hope, the glass is half full kind of shit.
Yeah.
It fucking leaves a bad taste in people's mouths. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost a turnoff to be like, look, man, we've all tried. It's fucked. So I don't know. I think so. Real quick, the first thing I want to get into about hope in general is just that it's like not even just conceptually true that hope is important, but just like scientifically, right? Like, we have evidence of hope being a powerful force in the world through the placebo effect.
Oh yeah, dude.
We had and it sounds silly, but it's like literally all drugs that we test in this country are tested against a placebo, and they have to be more effective than that. It's not that they have to be effective at all. They have to be more effective than hope.
Yeah.
Than the concept of like trusting a doctor or just trusting that something will work.
Yeah, that's crazy. I never thought of it that way.
Dude, it's wild.
That's actually a really good way to think about hope, as like, because like, to be completely real with you, like, I've said it before that I think hope is one of the most like can be one of the most damaging things, right? Like, because it's like when shit doesn't work out and you hope, it fucking kills you. You know what I mean? Like, you have hope in things, and when it doesn't work out, it hurts real bad. Like, I've hoped, you know, in a lot of things, you know, in my marriage and shit like that, and with having kids, and like, when that shit doesn't work, it's like, you know, I started telling myself, I'm like, I'm just going to say to myself, like, this is how it's going to be. I don't hope that my family's at home when I get home. I just know they're going to be there when I get home, you know?
Right.
But you explaining like this placebo thing, it's like, I mean, that's what I'm doing to myself is placebo anyways. It's just reversing the words, you know?
Right. Yeah, dude. I stumbled across that recently, and I was like, well, I never put it into that thought before, but placebos are actually like pretty effective. I mean, not at everything, right? They don't like, placebos don't have like a great a cure rate against cancer, but in things like managing pain or depression or a lot of these more like mind-based things, it does a shit ton. And not only that, but have you ever heard of the nocebo effect?
No.
Nobody talks about this, but there's actually a literal opposite of the placebo effect called the nocebo effect.
Tell me about it.
What it is if you don't believe something will work, it actually lowers the chances of it working.
Dude, that's crazy.
So even if it's an effective medicine, you can lower the chances of the effective medicine working by not believing it'll work.
I wonder if that's what happened in that one prayer study. Did you ever hear about that study?
Is it the one that's like, if you're praying for something to go away, it'll go away, but if people are praying for you, it's worse?
Yeah. So that was the thing, is they went into a hospital and they had some people praying that they would get better. And then they had some people praying for people to get better of their sickness. And it was like, I want to say, I don't want to throw out a number, but it was
don't throw out a number.
overwhelmingly, the people who knew someone was praying for them got worse.
Yeah.
Like that was, I wonder if it's like, because most of them were like, whatever, fuck you. I don't care about your prayers.
Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to find that study. I couldn't figure out how to find it for this episode.
It was on a Stuff You Should Know episode that I listened to.
Yeah. Damn. Well, I'll try to check back into that and then fucking circle back into this.
Yeah.
But that was like, I think that was the baseline for why I think hope is important, just on like a day-to-day basic level, right? Like, it's just, you can't really argue with it.
Yeah.
You've got evidence right there. The other thing I wanted to talk about with hope is it is like literally the key to changing our world. So what I'm saying, it's hard to say this.
No, I'm for it, dude. I'm all about it.
Okay. I've been listening to the book Sapiens, which I was talking to you about this before. Probably not on mic, but
yeah, that's an old Scott Mosier classic, right?
Yeah, Scott Mosier read it. Fucking Community. What's that guy's name? Rick and Morty. Harmon read it. So I was like, I've heard people talk about it before. I'm listening to this book on tape because I can't read. I can read. I don't like reading.
Yeah,
I shouldn't say I can't read.
You're literate.
But basically, one of his foundational claims in this book that explains the success of humanity is the ability to believe in the imaginary.
Can you say that one more time?
So one of the main abilities that led to the success of the Homo sapien is the ability to believe in the imaginary.
Okay.
And that sounds like silly, right? Like, what does that even mean?
I mean, that's religion, right?
It's not just religion, though, dude.
Oh, okay.
It's literally fucking everything.
It's like fairies. It's
corporations, dude.
Oh shit.
It's our legal system. It's governments. Like money. A government, borders don't exist, right?
No.
Money doesn't exist. Everything that we like conceptualize as a real thing, like Walmart.
Yeah.
If Walmart fucks up, somebody can sue Walmart.
Yeah.
Is not a thing.
Yeah.
Back in the day, a person was responsible for that. Now it's a corporation, which isn't even a thing.
Yeah.
But basically, that's what made us able to gather in the numbers that we're able to. Like animals, they don't create social structures as big as us.
No.
And that's because they can't organize around a concept the way that we can. Once you create something like a government or a corporation or money or a god, you can organize more and more people around common understanding because they all have the same concept in mind.
Of a thing that doesn't even exist.
Correct.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
It makes so much goddamn sense, dude.
But that's what makes us so adaptable. Like he was citing in the book, like someone could grow up in the Weimar Republic, go into live through Nazi Germany, and then be in democratic Germany after the end of the World War II. So you've been through 3 vastly different fucking social structures within one lifetime. So we're capable of rapid, like beautiful or awful change based on these concepts like a government or like a social structure that we've imagined.
Oh my God.
Dude, I'm like,
that fucked me up, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Well, because it's like, let's think about, for a second, like life as like back when we called them Homo sapiens, you know what I mean? Like, and not just humans, but it's like, they had to create rules in a way of like, all right, like, you don't jump off of this thing.
Sure.
Because you will die. And people are like, you're right. Even though only one person ever jumped off of that thing and found out. You know what I mean? Like, they've created now a rule around it to where nobody else has to really experience it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They're just imagining what the fuck would happen if you jumped off this thing.
True. And that's what, I mean, I don't want to get into the book heavily, but like animals have instincts to tell them those things, right? Like, don't jump off this, don't eat that. Humans are like kind of blank slates when they're born for the most part, right?
We
like,
don't have instinctual bullshit.
And because of that, we can adapt the way we can. And that's why I say hope is like the key to everything, because once you have a hope that a system is achievable or that a state is achievable, it actually creates the ability to manifest that into reality.
And it keeps you fucking going.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It keeps you going, but it also creates a system, much like the 4 agreements, which I don't know how far you got into it.
Yeah.
But there's the dream, right? You create a dream of your perfect communist society, and other people can choose to believe in that dream as well. And there's limiting biological factors to everything, sure. But at the end of the day, the hope for something better is the first thing that enables that thing to happen.
Yeah, I mean, that's why Marx wrote, That's why Mikhail Bakunin talked. It's like those dudes had a hope in a different system that included people and shit like that. God damn, dude. That's so sick.
Dude. It's good shit, man. I'm feeling pretty pumped up off like hope in general. I don't have a ton more to say about it other than I wanted to talk real quickly about, or maybe not quickly, the ways that I feel like religion can actually damage hope.
Hell yeah. Let me tell you. Let me listen to it, baby.
So I actually felt I had this arc personally of like being pretty nihilistic and down before becoming a Christian. Becoming a Christian, discovering this hope in Christ, and then actually becoming more nihilistic in some ways than I was before.
Yeah.
And that comes in the way of the teachings of the Bible. Because personally, I felt like things like knowing that this whole world's going to end in apocalypse, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to be motivated to take care of the earth, like care about recycling or fucking taking care of people or any of that shit's actually going to matter when ultimately it's all going to burn, right?
Yeah.
The heart is deceitful above all things, right?
Yeah.
That's a verse. It's like, how are you going to ever trust that you could have a good society if your base belief is that people are bad?
Yeah. Dude, I'm right there with you with this shit right now because I've been reading a lot for our next episode.
Yeah.
These go really hand in hand.
I'm trying to think of what else. The Tower of Babel.
Yeah.
The one time people tried to collaborate and do something good. God shut them down. like I felt this heavy nihilism. I don't know if you ever experienced that in your walk.
I mean, I think that I think for me, looking back, it was these like small situational things where it was like, why will we never be okay with people based on who they love? You know, like based on what they believe, you know, like just different things, like based on their proclivities and what they bring to the table. I think that as I went through Christianity, it was like we're never going to fucking win everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you want so bad for heaven to be rad, but you're cutting out more than half the population. And I think that made me lose hope in a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're not actually fucking loving people.
For sure. I mean, I definitely felt that to an extent of just like, I mean, also like, what's the point of prayer, right? Like, I feel like there's also this element of like, God's going to take care of it all too. So why even interact with the world?
It's crazy. I mean, because then you get into Calvinist shit too. You know what I mean? Where it's like, everything's going to be all right. Like, God takes care of everything, you know? It's the reason, dude. Oh my God, I just put it together too. Like, Christians didn't used to vote. Like, they just didn't, because they were like, God's putting into power what's in power, like blah, blah, blah. And they totally got like stolen by the right. You know what I mean? Because of that, like they needed those voters.
Right.
But they weren't even like working to change anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they were just okay with whatever the fucking wind blew for so long. Now you see them and it's like, we got to install a God King and shit, you know? But, that's a crazy turn. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I vibe with this real heavy.
Dude, I'm glad. I feel like it's a real, it's a hard place to be in right now after like a year of COVID-19. You know, finally we get Trump out of office and it feels like, you know, what did we really even gain? Just a smaller step in the wrong direction instead of a bigger one.
Yeah, we got the good cop, but he's still a cop.
Yeah, he's still a
cop. He's only friends to you to fucking get your money.
Yeah.
But
so it's brutal, but the hope of something better is necessary. And regardless of the structure that you're in, it's important to try to cultivate that within yourself. And if you find a thing that's like Christianity was for me, if it's disrupting your hope, I think that that's like a real killer of joy and motivation and everything in your life.
The other thing is with like Christian hope is a lot of times it's hope in the afterlife.
Yeah, it's completely that.
When you can't even change anything anyways. Like it's done, you know what I mean? And like that always blew my mind when people are like, well, we're going for eternity. And I'm like, I can't do anything about eternity no matter what it is. You know what I mean? Like nothing lets me change eternity.
Right.
Right. But I am here. I'm here in this life and I'm not just going to fucking lay down, you know? I mean, dude, being on the left, we're the losers. We lose every election. You know what I mean? Like being like, I mean, fuck, dude, when you care for people so deeply that you want to see them taken care of, you lose.
Yeah.
All the fucking time, you know? And
just lost the impeachment.
Yeah, dude. Like, I just don't understand. Yeah, I think that Christianity totally breaks hope. because the hope that you're having isn't even in something that you can see change.
I think it can kill hope for this world, and I think that that's wrong.
Yeah,
I think that that's bad.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just encourage people to like take stake in what their hope lies in and try to cultivate hope where they can. Seek out positive things. One thing I wanted to share with people is like, just as a bit of good news, like Denver, in an effort to defund the police, Denver, Colorado has started an initiative called STAR.
Yeah.
Or STARS. Have you heard about this?
Yeah, I don't know a lot about it.
It's sick, dude. They got a mental health practitioner and like a EMT stationed every weekday and on calls that are mental health related. Instead of sending a fucking cop, they send a mental health person with an EMT.
That's so fucking sick. Good job, Denver.
Dude, it's rad. It's such a small step, but it's such a beautiful thing that person isn't going to be greeted with someone who's only learned how to fucking, shoot a fucking gun or take them to jail.
Yeah. Yeah. That's beautiful. I think that's like that. You telling me that news story just gave me hope. You know what I mean?
Dude, there is change that can happen. We can achieve better things. And the very fact that we believe that makes it true.
Yeah, I think so. I think that, every system you've seen changed, every time you've seen just the history is someone hoping something was different, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And like making it happen, I've been reading a lot about John Brown recently, you know what I mean? And he's like a hero of mine because sometimes it's hard to like be like, man, white people fucking suck, dude, and I'm one of them. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool to see, like, when people say, like, like, oh, it was a different time and people were racist back then, but it's like you see this dude, John Brown, who was like, no, I have hope that we will, like, free slaves. Like, if it wasn't for John Brown, we wouldn't have had the Civil fucking War, dude. Like, that dude was going in with fucking swords and shit and fighting Confederate, like, fighting, the South. And like he had a hope to change things. And he did it. You know what I mean? Like he helped, he died doing it, they fucking hung him,
Yeah.
Because, anything that will change things for the better, they make illegal.
Right.
But I think that, I get worked up when it's like, man, like people are like, well, what you want is unattainable.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't fucking like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's like we've attained so much already,
Yeah.
Allegedly we've put people on the moon, allegedly.
Look, man, I think that like, especially with how right wingers have gotten so conspiratorial. If there's any right wingers listening right now, I want you to think about this, right? If there is a party that benefits from you believing that a better future isn't attainable as far as like healthcare, fucking homelessness, fucking food, scarcity, all that shit. If there's somebody who benefits from you believing that, it's corporations.
Yeah.
It's the people that run shit around here. That's who benefits. And us not believing in ourselves and believing in our ability to create this system that fucking thrives on love and generosity and taking care of each other, of seeing ourselves as a whole, they benefit on us seeing ourselves separated. So if you want to get conspiratorial, I think that's your conspiracy, man. Like, it's not the fucking government.
Yeah.
It's the people who control the government, who's the fucking corporations.
Yeah, the imaginary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the thing is, we can change our imaginations, dude. We can imagine whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah, that's rad. I think like keeping imagination alive is great. Make imagination great again.
Please.
And, I was thinking too, it's like, if you're that Christian that's sitting in church and you have like no hope, one, maybe, you can think about leaving and joining the Tome of Chaos, right?
Yeah.
Like become a Tome. But I think that the other thing is we know good people who are fighting a good fight to change church.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, that gives me hope.
For sure.
That shit can change. I think I'm forever going to be hard on Christianity. Forever. And I'm forever going to be hard on our government, and I'm forever going to be hard on Joe Biden. You know what I mean? Like, because I hope for something better, I was having a conversation recently and people were like, it's only been 3 weeks, with Joe. And it's like, yeah, but I want more. Why can't there be more? Motherfucker owes me 20s, dude. You know what I mean? Like,
for sure.
And I want more, and we should be fighting for more. You know what I mean? Like, have hope that we can get more, and for Christians that are fighting the good fight, to try and change things, I fucking salute you. Like, be a religion that fucking, I was reading today that like some dude froze to death on the fucking front stairs of a church, and it's like in Ohio, like it happened, and it was like that hit so hard where I was like, what the fuck has happened? You know what I mean? The fact that you will like fight so hard for a political affiliation but then forget these,
Yeah.
So yeah, I have hope that people can make that Christian faith better again. And we know people who are doing it who, I know love me even though I bash their religion a lot. So
absolutely.
Thanks for those dudes who I don't, you know who you are. We love you.
For sure.
Yeah, man, I think that's rad.
Yeah. I don't know if I have much else. I have I actually decided on a quote to be the verse this week.
Yeah, I want it.
It's from MLK. I think this is a fucking beautiful verse. The quote is, "We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope."
Fuck yeah. That's a good verse.
Thanks,
He said it better than we ever could.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I was like, I was like, no, why would I try to come up with a better verse than that, dude? Absolutely. Like, the disappointments in our lives are actually just kind of road signs to the fact that we should have hope in something greater. Like, the fact that shit hurts or that it's bad is only an indication that it's not supposed to be that way, and that we should be actively working to create a system that isn't that way.
Yeah, 100%. Hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
AV, baby. We're back stronger than ever.
After vacation, fucking dude. The first verse.
AV. We're doing great. Yeah. I love it.
Dave is Christ now.
And I am Christ. I died and I came back. But I didn't die for your sins. I can't do that,
No.
So hey, we love you all. What would be rad is if you listen to this podcast, it would be so sick if you shared it with one person. You know what I mean? And like,
or 100 people.
100 people, but one person. I have hope that, we can grow our religion. Also, if you could give us 5 stars on the podcast app on Apple or Stitcher or whatever you listen to, if they allow you to review, please review us. Follow us at Tome of Chaos Podcast on everything. That's TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. We're trying to get way better at all of those things. Social media.
I'll do social media.
Yeah, we're trying to do those. Also, we have started, and this is a constant, every Saturday we stream for a little while on Twitch. So if you go to Twitch.com/TV, right? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Yeah. Twitch.com/TV Tome of Chaos podcast. Some shit.
Twitch.tv/Tome of Chaos podcast.
That's what it is.
Follow, subscribe, follow that shit.
Yeah.
Email us questions, tomeofchaospodcast@gmail.com, so that we don't have to read Yahoo Answers and bite somebody else's bit.
Yep.
We love you so much. Don't lose hope.
We love you so much. Don't lose hope. And we hope chaos walks with you this week.
Peace.
Peace.